Today we're going to be looking at stitching ponies, what they are and why we need them. So today we're going to look at stitching ponies or lacing ponies. These are not sort of true ponies, as it's something you slide on, and the traditional ones were a big old horse that you would sort of really straddle. Both of these are handmade. The first one we're going to look at is sort of a bigger, more heavy duty one, which is this one here. So this was made for me by an old customer who did some woodwork. My requirements were I wanted it to swivel, I wanted a nice long jaw on it, and I wanted to be able to move the bar so I could get larger items into this part. What I've done since is stick some magnets on it, and it's an old hard drive magnet which I will just throw needles onto when I'm in the middle of stitching, so that way I always know where they are. One of the things which is slightly off about this, and if I could get it made again I'd change, it would be the angle of these jaws. So I'd potentially want them to be much higher, because when you are using your stitching pony you want it to be as close to the stitching line as possible. So what is the purpose of this? It's exactly that. It's to hold your work while you're hand sewing. If you're hand sewing, doing traditional saddle stitch, you'll be using two hands, as you'll see in one of the videos I've linked below. And this keeps your work in front of you, and you sort of sit on it and it holds your work. This particular one, like I say, swivels and has nice wide jaws. And with this one, if you're any good at woodwork, I'm sure you can knock something like this up. A couple of bits of wood, big bolt that goes in. And then you can just... So the benefit for having this further up is you can open and close the jaws much more easily if you're doing smaller bits of work. Like I say, you'd drop this further down if you have a large piece of work which needs that much space so you can stitch the edge. This one swivels, as mentioned, just easy for me. I'm sitting, if I want to have a look at things, it's all there, and it's a nice big base. Problem with this is it's a bit big and a bit heavy. So during the first part of the COVID lockdown, a friend and I decided we wanted to make our own. There's some versions online of very similar designs to this, so fired the laptop up and came up with this. The 3D design pattern for this will be available on the website, the link for that will be below, and then it's just up to yourselves, the woodworkers out there, to turn it into something like this. So here you can see the different steps and stages that I've used using AutoCAD to create this. Learned whilst I was doing. I have no education or training in this, but it does seem to have worked. That's the desk clamp bit there. And if we just have a look, we have different layouts which you can print off and then trace onto your ply. And if we just have a look at it as a realistic half a render, and hopefully see that that's what it looked like before we actually made the thing. I can give it a little spin here as well. So those of you that know how this software actually works and how to do more with it, please feel free to make some edits, make some adjustments, and send it back. It'd be great. So the big thing that we wanted to do was make it portable. So it has a retention bolt on here, which will put it into position and then let it fold down. You can screw it into place. And once it's up, you can still sit on it. We do have a desk mount bracket available as well. The pattern should be available, which this will fit into. And it's a clamp, so you can clamp it onto your table. Similar sort of principle, so it's non-adjustable with the bolt, it's sort of fit into here, but it does the same thing. So you unscrew this and the jaw's open. As you can see, this one is at a much sort of nicer angle to what we wanted, and we've also embedded some magnets into the side for the same sort of purpose of holding the needles. So this was lots of bits of ply sort of glued together to make this stitching pony for us. It collapses down, makes it nice and portable. This one squeaks a bit. And there's a much smaller sort of footprint than the other one. Which one do I prefer to use? Depends where I am. If I am sat in the workshop here, more often than not I'll grab this big one out. I'd just much prefer it being using it a lot longer, and I'm very much used to the angle that it has up here. But this one, if I know that I'm going out and about, if I've got some leather fixes that need making, this is sort of a travel one, quick dirty bits. But like I say, if I know I'm doing a large project, I'll probably go back for this one here. You can hopefully see the difference in the angle of the top of the arms there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more leatherworking tips, tricks and build-alongs, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to be notified when new videos go live.